sitting up straight and tall. We'll allow the back of our wrists to rest at our knees. We'll begin by closing our eyes, doing a few breaths here. We'll breathe in through our nose and exhale through our mouths. Bringing awareness into our bodies and connecting with our breath. Taking a moment here to express gratitude for the ability to still practice within our homes, even when we are all far apart, still being able to come together as a community. On your next inhale, you can reach your arms all the way toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, folding forward, lengthening through your spine. Then walk your hands over to the right. Take another inhale for length, and on the exhale, fold forward. And then walking your hands over to the left side, again taking an inhale for length, exhale to fold. We'll come back through the center, walk our hands back to ourselves, take a big inhale, reaching our arms all the way back up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, we'll drop the left arm to the right knee. Reaching back with the right, we'll take an inhale for length. Exhale, twist and look over the right shoulder. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, switching sides. Another inhale for length, and exhale, twist, look over the left shoulder. Big inhale back up through center. On the exhale, dropping the right arm, reaching over with the left, lengthening through the left side. Then bending to the top elbow, reaching toward the right shoulder, twisting and looking up toward the ceiling. Inhaling back up through center, we'll exhale, switch sides, dropping the left arm, reaching over with the right, lengthening to the right. And then bending the right elbow, reaching toward the left shoulder. Maybe twist a little deeper, looking up toward the ceiling. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, press our palms to heart center and switch the cross of our legs. Inhale, sweeping our arms wide, all the way back up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, folding forward again, maybe walking our fingers a little bit further. Taking an inhale for length, and on the exhale, folding forward. And shifting your weight forward, we'll come into a tabletop position. So the tabletop position, our knees are below our hips, our wrists are below our shoulders. Our spine is nice and neutral. And we'll begin with a few cat-cows, dropping our belly on the inhale, looking up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, pulling our navel to our spine, rounding through our breath. Inhale, dropping our belly, looking up. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, navel to spine, and we'll move with our own breath at our own pace. Just moving and feeling in our bodies, moving with our breath. Maybe even making these motions a little bit more dynamic by rocking forward and back on our exhales. And on our inhales, maybe just crunching side to side. Take one last inhale, one last exhale. And coming back through neutral, we'll straighten through the left leg, pressing the tip of our toes onto the edge of the mat, sinking our weight back, stretching through our left calf. Then lifting the left leg, we'll reach forward with the right arm, taking an inhale. On the exhale, bringing our knee and elbow together beneath us. Inhale, reach, lengthening through our spine. Exhale, knee and elbow together. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch. Take 2 more breaths. And on the last one, we'll reach back with the right hand, catch our left ankle, kicking that foot into our hand, lifting our chest. And then release. Right back through our tabletop position. We'll switch sides, straightening the right leg, pressing the tip of our toe onto the edge of the mat, sinking our weight back, stretching through the right calf. Then lifting the right leg, reaching forward with the left arm, we'll take an inhale. And on the exhale, knee and elbow together beneath us. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. And just 2 more breaths here. And then reaching back with the right hand, we'll catch left hand, catch the right ankle, lifting our chest. And then we'll release back through our tabletop position. We're going to reach our fingers a few inches forward, sink our hips over to the right side, back toward our heels. Then over to the left, and on the inhale, we'll drop our hips, look up toward the ceiling, and roll our shoulder blades back. On the exhale, sinking our hips toward our heels, making big circles here, figure 8s with our bodies. So inhaling as we look up, exhale as we sink our hips back. And then let's try our figure 8s in the opposite direction, sinking our hips back toward our heels on the left. Then over to the right, inhale, lifting our chest, looking up. Exhale, sitting our hips back, making circles. Finish by inhaling, dropping our hips, looking up toward the ceiling, and then just rocking our hips side to side, softening through our elbows, rolling our shoulder blades back, finding some length and space to the sides of our body. And coming back through neutral, we'll tuck our toes, lift our hips, coming into a plank. We'll hug our elbows into our sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting our hips, pressing back into downward dog. From here, we'll take a few
breaths, you can bend your knees a few times, add some length through your spine. Maybe drawing your shoulders a little bit closer toward the mat. Wiggling your toes if you can.
And looking to the front of the mat, we'll step or hop to bring our feet hips width apart.
Slowly pulling ourselves into a forward fold. Then on the inhale, rolling all the way up to standing nice and slowly, so we're stacking the vertebrae of our spine. On the inhale, we're reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, pressing our palms to heart center. And releasing our arms to our sides for Tadasana, our mountain pose. Take another inhale, we'll reach your arms as high as we can. On the exhale, we'll swan dive, so chest first all the way down, reaching toward our toes. Then grabbing our elbows, we'll rock gently side to side, lengthening through our spine. You can bend through one knee or the other to lengthen through your hamstrings. Find a little bit of space here. Coming back to neutral, we'll slowly roll all the way up to standing. Big inhale, we'll reach our arms all the way up. And on the exhale, again, pressing our palms to heart center. Then releasing our arms to our sides. Play with our balance for a moment here. Lifting our toes, maybe lifting our heels, pressing onto our tippy toes, and just shifting our weight forward and back a few times. So lifting our toes. Lifting our heels. See if you can balance on your tippy toes. And then balance on your heels if you can. Keeping our core nice and tight. One more time, we'll press under our tippy toes. Inhale, reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, stay on your tippy toes as you begin to fold forward. All the way down toward the mat, then sinking to your heels. We'll sweep our arms up behind us, interlace our fingers and straighten our arms to open up through our chest and shoulders, drawing our forehead toward our knees, chest toward our thighs. And then we'll bend our elbows, placing the top of our hands on our lower back and draw our elbows forward so we open up through our shoulders. And then releasing your hands to the mat, we'll walk our hands forward, step our feet back, bending our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, right back to our downward dog. And again, you can bend one knee, bend the other. Find some length and space through your spine. Maybe with each exhale, sinking your chest a little bit closer toward the ground. Then try reaching your right hand toward your left ankle. See if you can find your ankle or anywhere along your leg. Twisting and looking under the left arm. And then switching sides, bring the left hand toward the right ankle, twisting and looking under the right arm. Coming back through our downward dog. On the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, pulling your knee underneath you, rounding your spine. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. Inhale, all the way back up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale all the way back up, and on the next exhale, sweep that that knee forward, stepping between your hands, lower our back knee onto the mat, and then walk our hands up toward our knee. On the inhale, we're reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling, low crescent lunge. And then just double check your alignment here. Just make sure that your right knee is in line with your right ankle. And top of your left thigh is coming toward the mat so you're not rolling open through your hips. So our hips are nice and square here. We'll interlace our fingers, flip our palms up toward the ceiling, find a little more space, opening up through our chest. And on the exhale, we'll bring our hands back down to the mat, straightening to the front leg for a half split. Maybe pointing and flexing to the right foot a few times, the front foot. Maybe rocking our toes side to side. Just creating some warmth and space. And maybe even rub your right hamstring if your hamstrings are really tight so that you can find more space to fold forward over the right leg. And bend through your right knee, heel toe your foot to the edge of the mat. We'll walk our fingers out on a diagonal to the left, about 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen our spine, and then exhale, fold forward. Walking our hands back in. Take the right hand, press against the inside edge of our right thigh, twisting and looking up over the right shoulder. If you've got a little more space here, you can come down onto your left forearm. And if you want even more, a little bit deeper stretch, bend the left knee, reach back with your right hand, catch your foot or ankle, and then twist to look over your right shoulder. And then release. Bring your hands back to the mat. We'll lift our back knee. We're going to pivot on our hips to come into flying monkey. So my right knee is bent, sitting over my right heel. My left toes are going up toward the ceiling. My chest is lifted. You can balance here, pressing your palms to heart center. You can also keep your hands on the mat, or you can fold forward, find a little more depth here. Walk your hands to the center of the mat. We'll straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, and switch to flying monkey on the opposite side. So same thing. Double check your alignment here. You can balance here. Or you can fold forward. Sink a little bit deeper through your hip. Maybe even drop your left heel toward the mat. Come back into our plank. So we'll step our feet together, hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest, upward dog. And on the exhale, lifting our hips back to downward dog. Again, you can pedal your feet, make it your own. And on the inhale, lifting the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, rounding through your spine. Inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, all the way back to three-legged dog. On the exhale, left knee, left elbow. And on the exhale, stepping forward between your hands, lower our right knee onto the mat, walking our hands up onto our left knee, and then reaching up toward the ceiling, opening up through our chest and shoulders. And again, as you begin to sink into this, just double check your alignment. Left knee should be over your left ankle. Top of the right thigh facing the mat. Hips are nice and square. Then we'll inhale, reach your arms up, find a little more space. This time, twist your wrists, cross your wrists, and then lift your chest a little bit higher. We'll be adding a slight back bend. And on the exhale, release. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Straighten to the left leg for a half split. Pointing and flexing the left foot a few times. Be rocking our toes side to side. Again, if you've got tight hips, tight hamstrings, try rubbing through your hamstring. Find a little more space. And as you are ready, begin to fold forward over the left leg. Bending through the left knee. We'll heel toe our foot to the edge of the mat, bringing our left hand on the inside of that foot, sinking to the outside edge of your foot, and then we'll walk our fingers off on a diagonal over to the right. Inhale, lengthening our spine. Exhale, folding and reaching. Find a little more space here. Back through neutral. Take our left hand, press against the inside edge of our left knee, twisting and looking up over the left shoulder. Maybe even coming down onto that right forearm if you have more space. And if you want to push it a little bit deeper, take the left hand, reach back, find your right ankle, twisting and looking up over the left shoulder. And then release. Hands come back to the mat. We're going to shift into our flying monkey on the left this time. Left first. This time, see if you can find a little more space, maybe making a bind here. Reaching your arms behind your back, see if you can catch wrist. And then release. Try the same thing on the opposite side, so bending to the right knee. Same thing, reaching your arms behind your back, see if you can find a wrist. And then walking your hands back to the front. We'll step back into a plank. Again, hugging our elbows into our sides. Chaturanga, bottom push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, lifting our hips, pressing back into downward dog. Then we'll step our feet wide, so our feet come to the edge of the mat. We'll walk our hands back toward our feet. Take a moment to slide our hands underneath our feet, palms facing toward the ceiling. Inhale to lengthen our spine, exhale to fold. And then release your hands. Take your right hand, reach to the outside edge of your left foot. If you can't reach to your foot, maybe come to your shin, maybe even your thigh. We'll reach over the left arm so that we're twisting and looking up over the left shoulder up toward the ceiling. This will be our inhale. behind our back. Maybe even make a bind here, taking the right hand, bringing it between our legs. See if you can find that left wrist behind your back. Twisting, looking up over the left shoulder. And then release. Let's try the same thing on the opposite side. So you can reset through neutral, taking the inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left hand come to the outside edge of your right foot, or shin, or above your thigh, somewhere along your leg. Reaching up with the right arm, the inhale, twist. Exhale, sweep the right arm behind your back, and look up toward the ceiling, over the right shoulder. And maybe even make a bind here. And then release. Hands come back to the mat. Walk our hands back to the front of the mat, stepping our feet back to parallel. We'll shift our hips forward, coming into a plank, and then drop our heels side to side to begin activating our oblique. And coming back to neutral, we'll hug our elbows into our sides for chaturanga, the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, right back to our downward dog. And just taking a few breaths here, really finding some length and space. On the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, pull your knee toward your nose, then lower it to the mat so you just tap the mat, keeping your wrists in line with your shoulders. Pulling your knee back up toward your nose, and then on the inhale, reaching the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the right knee toward the left elbow, lower it to the mat, bring it back up toward your elbow, and then all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, right knee to right elbow, lowering it to the mat, back up toward your elbow, and then all the way back up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, stepping forward between your hands, flatten through your back heel. Inhale, reach your arms up for a warrior one. And on the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides. Flipping your right palm, reach forward, up and back for reverse triangle, straightening to the front leg, lengthening to the right side. And cartwheeling that right arm forward, reaching as far forward as you can, then dropping your hand to your shin or to the mat, depending on where you can reach, keeping that front leg straight for triangle. And stepping back with the right leg, we're going to cross our ankles and come into a side plank. And if you need to, you can drop your knee to the mat. So a couple options here. Then reach all the way over with that top arm so you lengthen through the left side of your body, looking up toward the ceiling. Then lower the left hand to the mat. We'll step back into our plank. Hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting our hips right back to downward dog. Again, we'll just take a few breaths here. Shake your legs out if you need to. Twist your shoulders a few times if you need to. And on the inhale, we'll lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, drawing your knee toward your nose, rounding through your spine, then lowering your knee to the mat, pulling that knee back up toward your nose, and then all the way up behind you, three-legged dog. On the exhale, the left knee to the right elbow. Again, lowering it to the mat, lifting it back up, all the way back up, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, left knee to left elbow, lowering it to the mat, lifting it back up, all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, we'll step forward between our hands, flattening our back heel, lifting and reaching for warrior one. And on the exhale, warrior two, bringing our arms out to the sides. And flipping our left palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse triangle, straightening to the front leg, lengthening to the left side. And then cartwheeling your left arm forward, reach as far as you can before lowering to either your shin or the mat for triangle. Then bending the front knee if you need to, we'll step back with the right leg so we cross our ankles, dropping our hips for side plank. And then reach all the way over with the right arm, lengthening through the right side, pressing the side of our ribs up toward the ceiling. And then lowering the right hand to the mat, we'll step back into a plank. Hugging our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, right back to downward dog. Awesome. On the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, step forward between your hands. We'll lift and stack our hips, reaching our arms up the sides for warrior three, maybe even reaching our arms forward, or press your palms to heart center, finding your balance. Then lowering our right hand to the mat, we'll reach up toward the ceiling with the left for half moon. Maybe even bending the left knee, catch your left ankle with your left hand, and then lift if you can. Find any more space. Maybe even take your right hand off the mat and bring it to your chest. And then fold forward into standing splits, straightening to the left leg. And then release. We'll cross our left ankle behind our right. Inhale to lift and lengthen our chest. Exhale, fold forward. Awesome. Placing your hands on the mat, you can step or hop back into a plank. Hugging your elbows into your sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest, upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting your hips back into downward dog. And on the inhale, lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, step forward between your hands for warrior three on the left. You can reach your arms out to your sides, you can sweep them forward, or you can press them to heart center, finding your balance. And lower your left hand to the mat, stacking your hips. We'll reach up with the right arm for our half moon. Maybe bending the right knee, reach back with your right hand, see if you can catch your foot. Maybe play with lifting your left hand off the mat if you're feeling balanced here. And then release the right leg and fold forward into standing splits. And lower the right leg, cross your ankles so the right leg steps behind the left. Again, we'll inhale for length, exhale, fold forward. And then release, we'll step our feet back into parallel. Inhale to lengthen our spine. Exhale, fold. This time maybe try sweeping your arms behind your thighs, pressing them on top of your shins, and then see if you can pull yourself into a little deeper forward fold. Maybe try sliding your hands a little bit closer toward your ankles. And then see if you can bend your knees but keep that bind. Lower your hips to the mat and then lift your shins so you come into a boat pose. Maybe even straighten your legs. So kind of play with this one a little bit. Then releasing that bind. Reach your arms along your sides, coming into boat. And then lower down into a low boat, pulling your navel toward your spine. See if you can cross your ankles a few times. And tuck your knees into your chest, bring the soles of your feet together. Cobblers pose, opening up through your hips. We'll inhale to lengthen our spine, and the exhale will begin to draw our chest forward. If your hips are feeling tight today, maybe try rocking gently side to side. Using your elbows on the inside of your thighs to press your knees a little bit closer toward the ground. Try lifting your chest on the inhale, and exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing your forehead toward your toes or the ground. Your chest and your knees back together. We're going to rock forward, coming to a balance on our toes, pressing our palms to heart center, tiptoe balance. And then walk your hands over to the right side, keeping our top of our arms close to our hips and the side of our leg. We'll inhale, lift our hips and see if we can shift over into side crow. You can play with maybe straightening one leg or the other or both. And then we'll come back through our tiptoe balance. Again, we'll inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale, press our palms to heart center. And then maybe try that crow balance on the opposite side. So our wrists are shoulder width apart. Lift our hips and just shift our weight over. And again, you can try straightening one leg or the other. You can make this different kinds of arm balances, play with it a little bit. And then lower your feet back to the mat. This time we'll spread our knees wide, bringing our heels together. Inhale, we'll reach our arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, folding forward, we'll sweep our arms underneath our knees, reach back and catch our heels, and then fold. Placing our hands on our mat, begin to straighten through our legs, feet together, forward fold. Then bending through your knees, we'll inhale, we'll reach our arms up, sitting our hips back for chair pose. On the exhale, pressing our palms to heart center, bring the right elbow to the outside edge of our left knee, twisting and looking up toward the ceiling over the left shoulder. If you want to try dropping one hand to the mat, reaching up with the opposite, you can. Then inhale back up through center. Exhale, switching sides, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Pressing our palms together, twisting our chest, looking up toward the ceiling. Maybe even straightening our arms. And on the inhale, reaching our arms all the way toward the ceiling, straightening through our legs. Big inhale here, and on the exhale, pressing our palms to heart center. So bring our arms to our sides, we'll take another inhale, reach as high as we can. And on the exhale, forward fold, reaching toward our toes. And rolling back up to standing. Big inhale, reach our arms all the way up. Exhale, press our palms to heart center. Let's shift our weight onto our left foot so we can lift our right heel, maybe coming into a low tree. You can bring that right foot up onto your leg, anywhere on your leg here, finding your balance. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Maybe try swaying gently side to side. Coming back to the center. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. Bring them behind your back. Press your palms together in reverse prayer, or just grab your wrists. Reverse prayer. It's like this. And release your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, we'll reach up with the right. Catching your right foot, we'll straighten through the right leg, or you can keep your knee bent. Looks like this. And then opening that right leg out to the right side, or reach out with the left to counterbalance. And again, this can be here, knee bent variation. And then maybe play with adding in a twist. Sweep the right leg back toward the center. Reach back with the right arm. Twist and look over the right shoulder. So if you're doing the knee bent variation, it's going to look like this. Wherever you're at, sweep the right leg back behind you. See if you can catch your right ankle with the right hand. Reaching up with the left arm, we'll find your balance here first. Taking an inhale on the exhale, begin to kick your foot into your hand and shift into dancer on the left. then release that right leg. Bring our feet back to hips width apart. Take another inhale, reach our arms all the way up toward our ceiling. On the exhale, pressing your palms to heart center. Let's switch to the opposite side. Lifting our left heel, bringing our heel toward our ankle or our thigh or shin or somewhere along our leg. Pressing our palms to heart center. Finding our tree balance. And inhale, reach your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. Begin to sway gently side to side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, sweep your arms behind your back. Press your palms together in reverse prayer behind your back. Same as the first side. Release your right hand to your hip, take your left hand, grab your left big toe straight into the left leg, or you can grab your knee. Find your balance here. Then open the left leg out to the left side, reaching out with the right arm. Or again, you can do the modified variation, which is here. Sweep that left leg forward, grab the outside edge of your foot, reaching back with the left arm will twist. And again, if you're going to modify it, it's going to look like that. Here or here. Wherever you're at, sweep that left leg back behind you, catch your left ankle, reaching up with the right arm. Finding your balance here, this will be your inhale, and the exhale, begin to kick that foot into your hand. Shifting into dancer on the right. Good. Reaching all the way back up toward the ceiling, dropping that left leg. Big inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through your spine. And walk your hands to the front of the mat, step your feet back, and bring yourself back into your downward dog. And lift your heels, bring your knees to the edges of the mat, untuck your toes, hips are wide, or knees are wide. Walk your hands forward, lower your chest to the mat, and take a moment in child's pose. Press your palms together, bend your elbows, and bring your thumbs toward the back of your neck. Then release your hands, walk your hands over to the left side, but keep your hips low, placing the right hand on top of the left. And walk your hands over to the right side, placing the left hand on top of the right. Inhale for length, exhale, reach a little bit deeper. Coming back through the center, bring our knees together, sweep feet forward and come into a staff pose, sitting up straight and tall on our mat. And inhale, we'll reach our arms up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, folding forward, reaching toward our toes. Inhale, find a little bit more length and space through your spine, and on the exhale, fold forward. chest. Bend your knees, press your hips forward. Roll down onto your back. We'll tuck the right knee into our chest, straightening through the left leg. Take a moment to pull the right knee over to the left side, keeping your shoulders on the mat. We'll twist and look over the right shoulder. And then pull the right knee over to the right side, opening up through your hip. Again, shoulders stay on the mat. If you want to straighten through the right leg, you can. If you've got a little bit more space here. And then pull that right leg back into the center, so either knee is bent or straight. See if you can begin to straighten through that leg, pulling your shin toward your nose. If you want to point and flex a few times, make a few circles with your ankle, you can. Then release the right leg, we'll switch sides. We'll tuck the left knee into our chest. Pull the left knee over to the right side, keeping your shoulders on the mat so you twist. Looking over the left shoulder, maybe reach out with the left arm. Then opening the left knee over to the left side. Both shoulders again are still on the mat. You can try straightening to the left leg, opening up through your hips. And bringing that left leg back to the center, squaring your hips. Again, you can tuck your knee in, or try to straighten that leg, bringing your shin toward your nose. Then lowering that left leg, bend our knees. Roll our shoulder blades under, interlace your fingers underneath you if you can, or bring them to your sides, pressing your hips up toward the ceiling on the inhale, the little bridge. So here, or here. And lowering your hips back down to the mat, we'll tuck our knees into our chest, and just rock gently side to side. Try that again one more time, bringing our feet down to the mat. You can press back up into your low bridge, or if you want to try pressing up into full wheel, you can. So placing your hands on the mat, we'll inhale, lift our hips. Maybe walk your feet a little bit closer. And then lower all the way back down into the mat. We'll grab the outside edges of our feet for happy baby and just rock gently side to side. Maybe try rocking forward and back a few times. And lower your feet to the mat. Take the right ankle, place it on top of the left thigh, and then pull that left knee in toward your chest for figure four. If you want to make this a little bit bendier, you can try straightening your left leg, maybe reaching toward your ankle or foot. Maybe even take your right hand and press against the inside edge of your right knee, so you press that knee away from you, really opening up through your hip. sides. So we'll take the left ankle, place it on top of the right knee, and then hug that right leg in nice and tight. Again, if you want to stretch a little bit deeper, try straightening through your right leg, reaching toward your ankle. You can even take your left hand, press against the inside edge of your left knee to open up through your hip a little bit deeper. Play with some variations here. And then release. Lower your feet onto the mat. We'll inhale, reach our arms overhead, and then just drop our knees side to side for windshield wipers, side to side. Reaching a little bit higher with your fingers, find a little bit more length and space. And one more time, we'll tuck our knees into our chest. This time we'll just draw circles on the ceiling with our knees. And then take those circles in reverse. Okay. Then we'll straighten through our legs. Inhale, reach our arms overhead. Lengthen through our spine, really reach as high as we can overhead, taking a big inhale. And on the exhale, bring our arms along our sides, allowing our feet to fall out to the sides. We'll transition into Shavasana from here, taking the last few minutes of class just to melt into our mats, clearing our minds, releasing any remaining tension in our bodies, and resting for a moment in Shavasana. To awaken from Shavasana, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Taking deep breaths in through your lungs. And gently tucking your knees into your chest. Maybe rock a few times side to side. Gradually we'll rock forward and back to make our way to a seat on our mat, finishing where we started. If you want to take a moment now that you're a little bit more warm, maybe come into a half lotus, or if you want to maybe even come into full lotus, just depending on the space that you have. Take one last deep inhale, reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, press our palms to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. It was my honor and privilege to guide you in your practice.
A beautiful and blessed rest of your day. Namaste.